think we still got 2 more days left to tweak a little things and prepare and trying to figure out the starting 11 because preparations since we came back from Tanzania has been really good. We couldn't complain about the training facilities. You know, everything is up to good standards. So we got the most out of what we needed. So I think come Sunday, the team will be ready. But the headaches now lies with me and the other coaches on selecting a first 11. But I'd rather have those kind of headaches than anything else. But the team is ready and fit and healthy.
How big is the headache? Are you under pressure?
My head's as big as a watermelon. It's pretty big because I think everyone's worked really hard and well, and I think it's a little bit unfair that you can only pick 11 players to start the match. But yeah, that's FIFA rules, CAF rules, the rules of football. You have to field 11 players, so I guess you're not going to be able to make everybody happy because so far everyone has given me total respect and their hard work and everything that you can ask from a player as a coach. They've given me all that. So yeah, then for me to select 11 players out of the whole group, it is a really tough job, but I guess that's why they pay us the money they do to make those kind of decisions and disappoint some players that might not feel that they deservedly to be on the bench. They should start the match also. But yeah, I think come Sunday, myself and my technical team will make the right decisions because this nation needs a team that can go out there and fight for it and deliver the best possible football that they can, and then hopefully, to be superior and better than our opponents on Sunday. But we'll have to wait and see.
Coach Ben, you've talked about the importance of winning our first match. So could you just maybe talk to us about that importance of winning that first match, knowing that many times you've said about our group we are in a group of death. So maybe could you just elaborate on that also?
I think whether it's CHAN, World Cup qualifiers, World Cup, any major tournament, you have 3-4 matches max, and the importance of how good you start always sets you up nice. So yeah, so the first game is extremely important, but it's not the end of the world. Argentina, for example, in the World Cup Qatar, they lost their first match to Saudi Arabia, which was very crucial, which they didn't want to lose, but they ended up losing the match, and then they went on to win the World Cup. So, it's not the end of the world if your first game is a disaster, but in our case, hopefully not. So I'm confident that the boys will be ready, and they will be ready to give the best kind of performances that the Kenyans faithfuls deserve. So we'll make it our quest to have one of our best matches of the tournament come Sunday, because it just sets you up nice, because like I said, we are in the group of death. So if you get a good result against DRC, who's won this tournament twice, so they know what it's about, so it will just give us a little bit more breathing room for Angola and Morocco and Zambia to come.
Coach, injury updates, is there any new injuries, new additions to the team?
No, unfortunately. Obviously we had a really good campaign up until we came back from Tanzania for the Sekafa tournament. And then we had a major blow with Brian Musa, where he pulled his hamstring. So we got the scans back today, so the doc is yet to report, but it doesn't look like it is healthy and that. So we had to take repercussion measures and brought in extra players just in case that it is a grade 2 or grade 3 tear, and which you have to then replace the player. So that has not been ideal, because he was a player that looked like he could have fought for a starting 11 place, but So that, and then obviously we had the medical reports from all the players. We did medical testing of our own, and then we found out that there was also a slight problem with the heart of one of the players, Pamba Swale. So he had a little bit of a defect. So I think for cautious reasons, we first need to find out from um, the medical department, from CAF, what to do in this situation. Is it a critical one, or is it a one that could jeopardize the player's career, his future moving forward? So it's one of those delicate situations where you run the risk, and touch wood, God forbid anything happens and you have a mishap, and then you as a coach, you as a medical department, you have to take responsibility, because we've picked something up there. So I think once we get the right confirmations that we need from the proper medical authorities on what to do in the situation, and then we will react. But due to that, we also have to look at worst case scenarios, that we have replacements, that we don't have players bringing them into the national team now and they haven't trained with us, work. So we just took precautionary measures where we brought in extra players in case those players need. And yeah, and obviously everybody knows the Bajaba situation, where he's one of your better players in the national team. He's a player that I believe in a lot, and I gave him an opportunity as well. So he's always been loyal to me, to the national team, to his teammates, and that. So he got an injury before we had the last international break, and it was a grade 2 tear in the muscle, in the thigh muscle. So he's been nursing that towards the end of the season, and now we thought he probably halfway in the group stages, we will be able to use him. But yeah, he still has a little bit of small issues, and when it is like that, you don't want to risk having one player less, and it's unfortunate because, like I said, he was one of our better players and one of our players that was definitely going to start. So you have to then make a decision, a very important decision, if you leave one of your better players out the squad, or you keep him in there and hopefully you get to the knockout stages, to the semi-final, quarterfinals, and then you can throw him out. But he will eventually would have missed all of our group stage matches. So, but we just felt that it was a little bit unfair on everybody else, because everyone works hard, and to keep a player here that you gamble that you're going to reach the quarterfinals or semi-finals of the CHAN, and then you can play him. So we made this tough decision that it was probably better. And then we also found out that he had an opportunity to join a giant club in Africa, Simba. So instead of keeping the player here around us, and he's not going to play a part for us in any case, so we rather just let him go and get all the necessary treatments and work that he needs from his new club, and then he can settle in. But we carry the torch forward with the squad that we had, and that's why we ended up replacing Bajaba as well.
Coach, of the 3 latest additions that you made, one of them, Edward Omondi, was in the squad initially, and then you dropped him and you called him back. Maybe what did you think of him and the message that brought him back? That's the first one. And the last one, the last time you said that you couldn't afford to lose Bajaber. I know you talked about him, and maybe what's the effect that now Bajaber is going to have in your team, and now the honors now on Austin?
Yeah, like I said, every player that works extremely hard for me and for the team, they are in the national team based on merit, not on anything else. So yeah, we had 28 players, which we had to bring down to 23. And unfortunately for Mondi, he was one of those players that if Bajaba was going to be fit and ready, there was no space. There was not a thing. But I have a relationship with every player, so I had to break the sad news to him. but he took it well, and it's always like anything can happen in football. Today you on a high, you on top of the mountains, tomorrow you're down there on your back. So you have to just keep working hard and keep taking the negatives with the positives, and the positives were that he was part of the squad and he worked himself to be in the squad. Unfortunately, there was 23 players that needed to be selected and he wasn't one. So it wasn't a big disappointment for him because he was still part of the squad, and at the final hurdle he just didn't make it. So when we decided on Bajaba, then he gets the positive news back. So he comes back full of energy, full of life. Now he's been given an opportunity, and hopefully this time he won't be cut. So it's now down to the players. So that's how it works. Life hits you with a lots of ups and downs, and it's what you make of it, And he's taken that opportunity now, and hopefully he flies with it, and he's replaced Bajaba. So I'm happy for him, and hopefully he makes it count.
And sir, just you had 6 more months to train since the Chan was delayed. Do you think that's going to make a difference for the team?
Yes, I thought it was, because we were very, very ready to prepare for Chan 6 months ago, and then when it was delayed and then set back, so a lot of players then had to go back to their clubs and play normal football. So we regrouped again. Then we had World Cup qualifiers, which majority of them wasn't part of the squad, so they were just playing for the football clubs, the local leagues. And now that Chan has resurfaced, and we are 3 days away from starting our first game. So we had almost a month together now, so I think it was more than enough time for us to have rekindled the love that we should have had 6 months ago, but now for Chan. So hopefully, I think everyone is in the right mindset and ready to go, because having Chan postponed for 6 months has kind of given everybody a chance to also work on become better during that time, and now they will be ready to showcase their talent, and hopefully Kenya is not going to be a disappointment.
Finally, to Brand Muchira is now in the squad. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, I'm happy for the boy. I think, as everybody pointed out, he had a good season, but I just felt there was the players that I selected were the better players, and then luck works on your side with injuries and medical issues. It opens the door for you. So now it's all down to him to make myself and the other technical members also sees what we missed or what we didn't select firsthand. But yeah, this is his big opportunity now to make the most of it, and I hope for him, for his sake, and for all his followers that was pushing to get him into the team, he doesn't disappoint them.
Thank you, Coach.